A little golden book. Walt Disney Productions. The Black Hole. A spaceship adventure for robots. On the cover we have Maximilian, Old Bob, and Vincent. Excuse me. Here we have the Cygnus traveling through the depths of space near the Black Hole. Vincent twinkled his robot lights at his good friend Dr. Kate. "I'll return soon," he said. "There's someone I want to see." Before the master robot Maximilian could ask questions, Vincent was skimming towards the parts storage center of the great spaceship Cygnus. Vincent, Dr. Kate, and their friends had landed on the Cygnus when their own ship, the Palomino, had been damaged while speeding through the universe. They had come aboard the Cygnus, where they could pick up repair parts from Old Bob, one of Maximilian's robots. Vincent opened the door of the parts storage center he had left only a little while before. "I'm back, Bob," he announced to the robot at the control desk. "I wonder, would you show me around your spaceship?" Bob's lights twinkled nervously. "Oh no. The master robot Maximilian will be angry if I left my desk, and no one ever makes Maximilian angry." "I'm not afraid of him," Vincent said bravely. "Besides, Maximilian's busy with the humans. Come on, Bob, let's explore the Cygnus. Then we can take a tour of my spaceship." "Well," Bob hesitated, "it's been 20 years since I had a vacation. Even for a few minutes, I suppose, if we're very careful." Vincent didn't wait to hear more. "Of course we'll be careful," he said. "Let's go!" The two little robots slipped into the huge main corridor of the Cygnus. Without warning, an air car zoomed past and stopped, and two humanoid robots with polished faces stepped out. "Hide," Vincent said, not feeling quite so brave for a moment. But Bob kept gliding confidently along. "It's all right," he explained. "The humanoids don't have eyes. They won't even see us." And sure enough, they didn't. "It's the sentries we have to watch out for," Old Bob said, "and Maximilian himself." Their first stop was in a huge garden room. Vegetables and fruit trees grew everywhere. Suddenly, at the far end of the room, a door jerked open, and in stalked the gigantic raster robot, glowing with angry red light. "It's Maximilian! He's on one of his surprise visits!" Bob squeaked. "Quick! There's another door over here!" He pushed at a heavy panel, then groaned, "Oh, it's locked!" He was too frightened to move. Vincent raised one arm and pointed his laser beam at the lock. The door swung open, and he and Bob escaped into the corridor. "That was too close," Bob gasped. "I better go back to my room right away." But Vincent was enjoying himself. "Couldn't we see more things?" he asked. "If we hover high enough, even Maximilian won't see us." Bob thought for a moment. For the first time in his life, he had outsmarted Maximilian, and he did feel braver. So when the next air car approached, they stopped it and climbed in. Hurtling along, they looked down on robots busy at work. "There's the control tower ahead," Bob said. "We'll get off here. Just follow me." Soon, they entered a room with a magnificent viewport. Vincent looked up at the giant screen, and that showed the millions of stars being drawn toward the distant black hole. "We can't stay long," Bob reminded him. "Someone might find us." As if on signal, two sentry robots entered the tower. "Come on," Vincent whispered. They zoomed up to the very edge of the viewport, then hovered there, hoping that the sentries wouldn't look up as they marched around the room below. When the sentries left, Bob headed for the corridor. "Let's go back," he said. "I'm afraid we're going to get into trouble." Vincent didn't hear him, but he was halfway down the hall. "What's in here?" he asked at the next door. He peered in. "A dining room!" Vincent looked wistfully at the table. "Too bad robots don't eat," he said. "I can't do anything with the fruit except this." He started to juggle a dozen apples using all three of his arms. Bob stared. He had forgotten what it was like to do something just for fun. "That's really good," he said, admiringly. "But come on, Vincent, please. I've been away from my desk for far too long." Vincent dropped the fruit back into a bowl. "Can I see the power center of the Cygnus?" he asked. "A trip to the power center won't take long," Vincent continued. "Besides, this is nicer than working, isn't it?" Bob had to admit that it was. "But it's dangerous for me," he reminded Vincent. The two robots floated down the corridor and quickly entered the power center. Inside were a massive control panel and the huge reactors that provided power for the whole spaceship. When he took a good look around the room, Bob was so surprised that he bounced 6 feet into the air. "It's Maximilian!" he whispered. "He seems to be everywhere!" Vincent looked. The huge robot master was bent over the control panel. "We'll have to sneak out," Bob jumped back. In his fright, he stumbled into a tangle of wire. "Help me!" he begged Vincent. "Maximilian will turn around any second, and when he does..." Vincent pressed his arm to his side, and a knife popped through a small door in his chest. Swiftly he slashed wire, one strand after another, until Bob set free. As he did so, Maximilian straightened and started to turn toward them. Bob and Vincent docked just in time, then floated close to the floor. They reached the door. "Whoa, that was too close," Bob said, and this time Vincent agreed. "Aw, ain't it cute? They're holding hands." As they hurried back to the parts storage center, Bob was very quiet. "I'm sorry you couldn't see the Palomino," Vincent said, when they were back in Bob's room, "and I'm sorry I kept you away so long." He stopped for all of Bob's lights were twinkling happily. "Don't be sorry about anything, Vincent," the little robot said. "We're safe, and we've had an adventure. This is the most exciting day I can remember." Vincent twinked back at him. "Good. Maybe we can have another adventure some other day." But Bob was already back at his control desk, hard at work. He had enough adventure to think about for a long, long time. If you want to hear the story again, restart the video.